Hey guys, Guri here from Server 73. Patch 2.9.2 is going live next Thursday, the 5th of February, and it lines up with the game's 5-year anniversary. It's a lighter update overall, mostly focused on adding a new immortal and making a few small adjustments to existing systems. The main addition is the new Chaos Immortal Great Tengu, along with a new anniversary castle decoration called the Hall of Divine Might. There are also a few small changes to Throne of the Supreme and a bit of extra value added to Zuma Tower and Rune Factory. Nothing here drastically changes how the game plays day to day, but there are a few things worth being aware of, especially if you're active in competitive modes. Let's start with Great Tengu, since he's the main new addition in this patch. We don't know what he looks like yet. All we've seen is his silhouette from a Facebook post, so visually he's still unknown. What we do know is his role and how his kit works. Great Tengu is a Chaos Immortal placed in defense, and he uses Shieldman. That puts him on the front line, where he's meant to take hits rather than deal burst damage. His skill, Unbreakable Pact, has a passive and an active. The passive triggers when he's hit by normal attacks. Every hit increases his physical damage, and this stacks up to 20 times. In simple terms, the more he gets hit by basic attacks, the harder he hits back. That points to longer fights, not quick ones. The active skill does a few things. First, it removes debuffs from allies. If there are no debuffs to remove, it instead triggers a heal that scales with skill level. It also gives front row immortals a counter-attack buff for 6 seconds. While that buff is active, if they're hit by normal attacks, they deal physical damage back to the attacker. On paper, this makes him look like a counter to teams that rely heavily on normal attacks. Carries like Ares and Alexander are built around hitting fast and often. Against those kinds of teams, Tengu gains damage just by being hit, and the counterattack means their normal attacks can end up hurting them as well. There's still one big question though. It isn't clear if the counterattack buff only works when there are no debuffs to cleanse. If that's the case, then in real fights it might almost never trigger, since frontline units usually have at least one debuff on them. That would make this part of his kit pretty unreliable. If the counterattack works no matter what, and only the heal checks for debuffs, then he looks much more consistent against normal attack teams. The wording's unclear, so we'll need to see some battle reports before we can be sure. He's also got an exclusive artifact, the Tengu Mask. All it does is extend the counterattack from Unbreakable Pact by 3 seconds. Great Tengu's tied to the 5th anniversary event, and your server needs to be at least 178 days old to unlock him. There's also a new anniversary castle decoration called the Hall of Divine Might. We haven't seen what it looks like yet, just the name and the stats. At base level it gives 5% troop attack and 5% troop load. At max level that goes up to 15% troop attack and 10% troop load. It's also part of the anniversary event, but it unlocks once your server is 14 days old. Next up is Throne of the Supreme. The qualifying round now promotes 256 players instead of 128. Those 256 players are then split into 32 groups, with 8 players in each group. The main change is what happens inside those groups. Previously, the top 4 players in each group moved on. Now only the top 2 players from each group qualify, so more players make it into the group stage, but it's harder to progress from there. You need to place near the top of your group to move on. Zuma Tower and Rune Factory both get small changes in this patch, but they're mostly about adding value rather than changing how either mode works. For Zuma Tower, each realm now gives 5 free Vision of Zuma packs. You can save these and carry them over to the next event, so there's a bit more flexibility in when you use them. It doesn't change the mechanics or the risk side of the mode, but it does mean more attempts over time without spending. Rune Factory gets a few new packs added. There's a new gem pack that gives 3 energy cores per purchase with a daily cap of 20, plus new low-cost packs at 99 cents and 1.99. These don't change how Rune Factory plays either, they just increase how much energy you can push through it if you choose to spend. Overall, these updates add more roles and more purchase options, but they don't address progression or balance concerns around either mode. They make the systems more accessible in terms of entry without really changing the experience itself. Infernal Assault also gets an adjustment in this patch. Gold reward decay will now reset daily. Within a day, your first 60 battles give full gold rewards. Battles 61 to 100 give 60%. Battles 101 to 150 give 30%, and anything after that gives 10%. The mode itself doesn't change, but this sets clear limits on how much value you get from repeated runs in a single day. A few smaller updates round out the patch. Open Arena now has level 60 troop templates available during Legendary Season, bringing it in line with current progression. Battle reports have also been updated to show kingdom buffs, making it clear how those bonuses are affecting fights. There are a couple of balance changes as well. Archer troops at level 6 through 8 get an increase to the base HP, and all troop types get increased base HP at level 9. Finally, the Holy Dragon skill Divine Protection works the same as before, healing all allies and reducing incoming damage, but the damage reduction scaling has been increased so it provides stronger protection at higher levels. So that's patch 2.9.2. It's a pretty light update overall. Outside of Great Tengu, most of it is just small tweaks and quality of life stuff. Nothing that really changes how the game feels. The throne gets a tighter group stage, a few molds have access or limits adjusted, and there are some minor balance changes. It's not an update I'm personally excited about, but it does add a few new things and smooths out some rough edges, especially with the anniversary events running at the same time. I'm curious what you think though. Are you interested in Great Tengu, or do these changes not really move the needle for you? If this helped, drop a like, subscribe for more Infinity Kingdom updates, and share it with your alliance if you think it will be useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.